Hey guys, the matchup I want to discuss is the matchup between Magneto versus Firestorm. You have Magneto, an Omega level mutant, right? He has Omega level potential slash power. He deals with, manipulating metals due to, manipulating the electromagnetic spectrum versus Firestorm. Firestorm is this character that kind of combines using this Firestorm matrix. It allows him to kind of manipulate reality, I believe, on a quantum level. He has a Firestorm matrix that kind of allows him to control its density, basically, warp reality. He can basically transmute all matter to whatever he pleases. He can change the density of his body, kind of become intangible. Who do I think would win? For this fight, I like Magneto. I know he has Omega level potential. I like that, when he had that one fight with that Uranos, I believe, which is like the ancestor of Thanos. I'm not too familiar with Uranos, but I know he fought Magneto in that one comic book. He ripped his heart out of his chest. Magneto kind of came back. He revived himself using his powers, even though he died eventually soon after, but he was able to resurrect himself due to, manipulating electromagnetic energy. Don't get me wrong. I think Magneto has really impressive feats, especially that one I just, kind of brought up about him fighting Uranos. But unfortunately for this fight, I don't think he has what it takes to beat Firestorm. I mean, Firestorm, just abilities, you just on paper, just too much. It's just overwhelmingly just too much to handle for somebody like Magneto. You got somebody that can manipulate basically reality. You got somebody that can, change the density of his body, becoming intangible. But not only that, which I think is the main deciding factor who I think would win, is the matter transmutation, which is basically just hard counters everything that, Magneto does. I mean, it makes no sense if you can manipulate the electromagnetic spectrum, to manipulate metals and, throw them around, do whatever you please with them, versus somebody that could basically turn said metal into basically whatever they wanted to. All right, basically turning your powers, minute, redundant. I mean, Magneto throws a car at Firestorm. Firestorm just transmute the car into like, basically into Legos or something. Turns the car into bricks or something. There's really nothing that Magneto can really do to hard counter somebody or kind of, overwhelm someone that can kind of transmute anything that he does. And it's kind of hard to fight, a matter transmutator, period. I mean, somebody that can just transmute and change anything to whatever they want. It kind of hard counters a lot of characters. I mean, this is kind of a really busted power, and I think it's really underutilized / underappreciated. Probably because it's so hard to write, especially, being a, DC Marvel writer. They're just trying to write it in fiction in general. I mean, it's kind of hard to write a character, that can basically, make the plot do whatever they want to do by simply, manipulating their environment to whatever they please, to have them really have any real challenges. Somebody like Firestorm, it's just too powerful for somebody like Magneto. I mean, his powers kind of operate almost like on a universal godlike level. I mean, DC doesn't really seem to know what to do with Firestorm, like they don't know what to do with many of their characters. Unfortunately, he's just kind of like there. I mean, Firestorm doesn't really have any real impressive feats as of recently, but overall,